like my third poem ever in public.
All
So.
right now.
You got it.
You got it.
There's a lot of people. I can see my baby though.
See you
So.
rocking my
Yeah, for quick apology. If you heard a baby crying, that
No
was me.
apology.
Couldn't get a babysitter.
You love baby.
Good girl.
This is called Pop Culture. And try not to
Let me
laugh.
hear my voice say shh.
Alright. Have you ever noticed that when mentally ill people are portrayed in books and films, we're either the problem or the solution? The hero or the villain? Has the polarity of this binary concept ever stricken your fancy? How we're the detective or the murderer, the famous doctor or the infamous patient, the genius artist or a tortured muse, the obsessive lover or the squeamish love interest? Dear Pop Culture, my mental illness is not all stalk and murder, not all awkward brilliance, not all quirk and romance. My mental illness is crying and having no way to stop, being fine at 4:02 and not fine at 4:06, hating me but hating everyone else so much more. My mental illness is trying for weeks to act normal, to be normal, then blowing up in the middle of a conversation and ruining all credibility of normalcy. It's trying to be a decent child, then failing when your mother says something that reminds you of when you were 6. It's watching my 13-year-old sister have friends and fun and a smile, and being envious that she's the brilliant one, that she's the good time and the good laugh, that she's dependable and engaging, that she's more like my mom than I'll ever be, that she's joy and good karma and strong enough to make it through bad times without a shattered view of life. It's loving my 13-year-old sister for being the only person who doesn't make me feel like a burden or a fuck up. My mental illness is going to family gatherings and hiding in the car. It's swearing in one breath that all of my friends hate me and swearing in the next that I have no friends. It's watching my mom start over with someone wonderful and wanting to meet him and not wanting to meet him for fear of ruining it. It's crying about wanting to kill myself and then being too embarrassed to face whoever I said it to. When you find yourself in the bathtub at 5 a.m. crying because you have to live tomorrow, and it is tomorrow, you don't feel good. You feel defeated. When all you wanted was to live and grow like everyone else, but you wake up one morning and you realize you've missed 3 weeks of class, you don't feel brilliant. You feel like a failure. When it's been 6 days since you showered and you just had a meltdown in front of someone you were trying to impress, you don't feel romantic, you feel ashamed. Pop culture lied, and depression isn't artistic. Anxiety isn't sexy, and bipolar disorder isn't all blood and screams, at least not those of another. The only risks I've ever slit are my own, and I've only killed time, meaningful relationships, and 2 birds with 1 stone. My mental illness is a silent suffocation in rooms full of air and feeling homesick for a house that's never even been there. It's hidden bruises and reminding myself to act sane. It's crying because I have to act. It's taking a nap after smiling for a few hours because it was a few hours too many without something to actually smile for. It's apologizing for crying, for not crying, for having the wrong reaction, for not reacting for fear of having to apologize, for not knowing if I should apologize, for opening up, for shutting down, for ruining the party, for ruining the mood, for ruining your life by simply existing, for existing, for not wanting to exist. I'm sorry. Wow. This is wonderful. I don't even know my Instagram by heart. I don't tell it to people. If you didn't know, I'm shaking. So my Instagram is, if you can stop messaging me on Instagram so I can see it. My Instagram is Ivy Loves Poetry, and pretty much anything I've ever written can be found at allpoetry.com/Ivy_love. And there's like 8 of my poems on SoundCloud. It's the letter I, the letter Z, Poetry Cozy. That's